Hi everybody. Today I woke up and I looked at the phone and it said I had 10 subscribers, so I was pretty amazed about that. I know I was getting there soon, so thank you for all your views and subscribers and everything like that. But today I'm going to be taking my grandpa's suggestion and showing some trains underneath my microscope. So we're going to start looking at this right now. First, let's look at the Scotsman passenger train. Doesn't seem to be focusing well. Let's try to focus it. And there we go. Wait, maybe not quite. There we go. But here we go. Number 1. Then we got LNER. That stands for London and North Eastern Railway. So if you're never sure what LNER means, London and North Eastern Railway. The number 3 again, and then 2, 2, 3, 5, 6. I don't know what those numbers stand for, but there's no people in there right now. Here's the top. Next, we'll look at the tender. Let's see here. Ooh, that looks nice. London and North Eastern Railway. This is as far as I could zoom out, so I'm sorry about that. But here's some of the wheels. And here's the top with the coal. Looks pretty good. This camera doesn't show it very well, does it? Next, we'll do the box car. Union Pacific boxcar, refrigerated boxcar. We can handle it, the Union Pacific Railroad people. Then here's of course the Union Pacific logo. But then they also have these these rivets there. It's interesting. But now I'm gonna pause the camera and I'm gonna put the locomotive under here. There it is, the Flying Scotsman. The wheels, look at the pistons. Get the train a little more over here. That looks nice, doesn't it? Let's go up a little bit and let's see the smokestack. Then we'll go over here. Let's see the cab. 4472. Greatest train of all time, the Flying Scotsman. Okay, so I'm going to find another thing to do something with. So pause the camera here. Next thing is we have a Union Pacific Big Boys book. I got this for Christmas. And it's a really great book. I've been reading this for a long time now. Lots of history about the Big Boy and steam trains. And it's just amazing. Articulated engines, America's first mallet. Yeah, I've been reading this for quite a while now, but it's just a great book. I recommend getting this book. It's $40 on Amazon, I believe. It's pretty expensive, but I think it would be worth it if you love trains like me. It's an amazing book. Probably my favorite train book. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go do something downstairs, and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, we're downstairs now. So like yesterday, I took off some of that track stuff, and I put it off of there, because I'm gonna do some experimenting with it. I need to zoom out. There you go. But here's where I got this. Oh, he's off the track. Can't really even see the truck right now because I'm so far away. But there you go. Boing. Roll very well. And then here's where I get the power from. It's extension cord. Then here's this, and then that. This is how I control it. I'm gonna try to think of something else I can do here while this video is still lasting. I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. Hopefully it does. I'm gonna grab a wiffle ball, set it right here, and then I do this a few times a week. Come down here, practice a little bit. I just hit the net there because usually I hit from over there, but because my buildings are there, I can't hit from over there. So let's pause the camera. Well, I'm trying to think of something to do. Here's something I did in art class in school. Very nice. And then this is something I painted at my house. Now, I think I'm gonna do this. This is a book that I started writing, so I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see me reading it. So the story is about a Flying Scotsman, the Big Boy, and the 844, which are trains. You probably know the Big Boy if you're a train enthusiast. You probably know the Flying Scotsman is the greatest train of all time. And then the 844 is another very famous U.S. train. I think I'm going to sneeze. I hate it when that happens when you're making a video or something like that. But anyways, let's say I'm going to pause the camera if I sneeze. Apparently not. So, it just, okay, I blew my nose and I'm better now. Okay, so, no, it's not Thomas and Friends, but it's just kind of a book that I wrote. So, I know the chapters aren't that long to start off with, but my second book I'm starting to write, they're getting a little bit longer, and I'm writing them on actual college ruled paper instead of just a blank piece of paper. Can't speak. So, here we go. December 26, 2021. Flying Scotsman vs. Big Boy by Paul Leckert. Chapter 1. What a beautiful day, said Big Boy. Sure is, said 844. Hey, what's the 844? It's your old friend, Scotsman. Flying Scotsman came on the track in between them. Hi, old friends. Hi, Scotsman. And who is this Big Boy, he said, looking at the front of his boiler. Now, the Big Boy on the front of its boiler, it says Big Boy, so that's why I said that. Kind of a use of my imagination. Well, that's my name. Oh, said Scotsman. So, what shall we do today, said 844. I know, said Big Boy. Chapter 2. We should have a contest. It will be me versus Scotsman. I will be the referee, said 844. Well, okay, said Scotsman. Chapter 3. I will be back in 7 hours, said Big Boy. I'm going to Sherman and then to Wasatch, which are places in Wyoming and Idaho. Me and 844 will go for a run. They all agreed. Chapter 4. So, did they meet in real life? No, but when Scotsman came to it was in the same era when Scotsman came to the USA. Chapter 5. 1 hour later, Big Boy came back with a 4-mile train. 844, can you help me divide this train in half? We each pull a train 2 miles long for 7 miles. Whoever caboose crosses the finish line first wins. They all agreed. Chapter 6. Let's talk about the Big Boy's strength. It could pull a 3,600-ton train that's 5 miles long at 50 miles per hour. Now, eventually they put that ton up a little bit to like 4,000 and something. But that's just what I wrote because that's with research that I did. With a 6,000 horsepower and a top speed of 80 miles per hour. And it's 133 feet long. Chapter 7. Now the Scotsman usually pulls 12 coaches at 100 mile per hour tops. Chapter 8. 3, 2, 1, go. Big Boy started speeding up at 5, 10, 15, 20 miles per hour. Soon Big Boy was halfway and Scotsman, well, he was half a mile doing 10 miles per hour. Chapter 9. At the finish line, Big Boy's caboose crossed the finish line in 15 minutes. And Scotsman stopped at 1 mile because he ran out of steam. Chapter 10. This is where I messed up stapling the pages, so I need to turn over. Score, Big Boy 1, Scotsman 0. So, Big Boy and 844 both uncoupled the cars and took them back to Sherman and Wasatch. Chapter 11. So, Scotsman said that a 7-mile race will happen with no cars. Again, they agreed. Chapter 12. 3, 2, 1, go. Flying Scotsman started neck and neck. At the finish line with 844, he said Scotsman won by 1 foot. Score, Big Boy 1, Scotsman 1. Chapter 13. 844 had to make a decision. What he did is all the steam trains in the USA voted. Chapter 14. 1 day later, the votes came back with 2,002 votes. Chapter 5. Big Boy 1,001 votes, Scotsman 1,001 votes. They tied. Scotsman said, come to England with me. Why, they both said, you will see. To be continued. But luckily, you don't have to wait to be continued. I'm not done with the book yet. But here's the second book. So I'm going to read it, and let's get started. And before I do this, I'm just going to read what it starts off with. It's not just a chapter. What it is it just telling you the last sentence of where they left off. So, Book 2, The Railway Show. January 2nd, 2022. By Paul Walker. Scotsman said, come to England with me. Why, they both said, you will see. Okay, Chapter 1. Let's take a long trip to New York City. When we'll get there, we'll get on a boat to Europe. It will be a long journey, but it will be worth it, and we'll have lots of fun. Chapter 2. 1 week later, they arrived. There was a big boat saying England. 844 and Scotsman were soon on, but they needed 2 cranes for Big Boy. But soon they were all on. Chapter 3. The boat blew its whistle, and the Big Boy blew its whistle and sounded the same. Now, if you don't know, the Scotsman's whistle, the Big Boy's whistle is actually the same as a steamboat whistle, so that's why I wrote that. I didn't get my eyes open. It's like this, so. Anyways, Chapter 4. Finally, after 2 weeks, they arrived. An hour later, they were all off the boat. Follow me. We are going to England. 1 hour later, they arrived in York, and there was a big surprise. That's where I left off. So, I believe York is somewhere in England. I just wrote that. I'm not completely sure about it. But we got around 8 more minutes to spur this video, so I need to find something to do. Okay, for the final here, I'm going downstairs, and I'm going to show you a big surprise here. So, get the light turned on. Okay, now I'm downstairs. But this, I need to get my other, something for it. Let me grab them. Walk over here. I'll grab them. Hopefully you couldn't hear that. I'm trying to be quiet. I think that's very noisy. I'll give you a hint. It's something that I use outside a lot. And it's part of a sport. I think you're catching on already. You kind of heard that metal noise. But here, my new disc golf bag. Let me pause it 1 second. So this is how we made it. So we ordered some wheels. And then we ordered an axle. This we already had. This was the last thing. But then we put this on the bottom so it wasn't heavy and it wasn't going to tip over. And here we used some PVC pipe and PVC cement and some other stuff to glue it together, and it's definitely a lot better than buying a $200 disc golf cart on Amazon. But let's get here. And again, this wall so you don't see the rafters. Here we go. So I'm gonna thank you one more time for having 10 subscribers. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. I knew there was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot what it was. Trying to think here. I don't know. As always, hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video. Bye.